Have you ever wondered how a fault finder gets a phone call from another garage, turns up at place within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, he's got the car running. You beat everyone this car. Get yourself a brew, you're going to love this. It's going to be one of them great on-the-fly fault finders that I had to go and get my tools and run literally round the corner to go and sort this job out. Don't forget to follow, like it and share it if it really resonated with you. Let's get into the video, get that brew on. Something interesting for you today. I'm off to do a remote diagnosis. Join me, I'll walk there. I've got to get my think tool. Let's go, it's going to be dead interesting and quite exciting. Oh, it's bright out here. Right then, apparently it's just down the road. What I've got here, and actually I've just borrowed a little voltmeter off these cool guys here. The issue is there's no voltage at the OBD socket. I've just pulled it out. As you can see, I'm testing it. I've checked the ground, the chassis ground, I've checked the OBD ground. Bizarrely, the ignition comes on, look. Bizarrely, the ignition's coming on. So what I need to do, luckily it's only around the corner, I need to go back to work now with the registration details and check the wiring diagram. There is voltage on some of them, top and bottom, but on these ones at bottom, these could be at when the engine's running. There's a voltage drop, see 0.03 volts. Now, for all we know, until I look at the wiring diagram in a minute, these could actually be, one of these could be for the diagnostic socket, and maybe, I noticed the room lamp isn't working and the electric window isn't working, so they could all be powered on the same circuit. Yeah, now I've got to go back and look at the wiring diagrams, basically, because I haven't got a clue why there's no voltage at the diagnostic plug. So, power probe it is. Right, I'm back and ready for action. Got my bag, got my headlamp on, and I've got my brew. Now I've got a few more tools, let's see what I can do, and I've got the wiring diagram. So I was right in thinking the room lamp shares some shabizzle with some shabizzle, so basically it comes from the body module, so probably the body module's goosed. See, the wiring diagram is completely bloody wrong. So it basically, according to the wiring diagram, it's fuse number 2, the room one, but according to this garbage, it's not fuse number 2. According to it, it's this one sticking out here. So straight away the issue is we've got a ground on there, and we shouldn't have a ground, and the room light doesn't work, but if I apply a power, it does work and nothing else happens. So why is it doing that? The other issue is we've got no voltage, it's the same fuse apparently. So that's now a massive issue, isn't it? So the only option I've got as well is basically to power up the pin 16 of this plug and see if it actually can read the fault code to my diagnostic tool. But to me, it's pointing to a BCM problem. Right, so this is our BCM plug. 2 blue wires there, you can't really see, maybe I can zoom in on CapCut later. Obviously, it's disconnected. When I do that, I get interior lights, or I should have at least. Yeah, I've got interior lights flashing. So the issue is with no output. It could be that the BCM's goosed. Forget this one, that actually shouldn't be there. That should be back in place. So basically the issue is there's no voltage on that output. What I'm doing here now is I'm just checking the diagnostic plug. There's 2 grounds on it, and of course no live. So at least when I put a live on, I know for a fact that I've got 2 grounds. We should power up the old think tool dongle there. It's starting to do the start. There's a massive voltage drop. So despite my initial preconceived notions, since I've just been messing with it, the battery's dead. Even though it was 12 volts or 11 something, the health is terrible. We need a battery on it. Right, so these lads have given me a battery. A used one, but it seems like it's in kind of good order, you know. So what we'll do is because this battery's like, you know, this battery's gone completely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just swap it. And by some miracle, it might have locked the BCM out. It is a Mazda. These things do happen on Mazdas. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God almighty. I hope to God this works. I just want this thing done because I want to get back to work. It makes a difference. My friend Danny does all this, you know, going to different garages. It's interesting, isn't it? You lot get to then see also like what it's like to be a fault finder. You know, for you cool dudes who want to be one. There's not much bloody sparking on that battery. Sure, it's cautious, this. Don't seem it to me. The wrong geometry. Right, anyway, let's get back in car and see what the situation is. Let's get our trusty power probe on. Kind of, how can I say, acrobatics. I heard it clicking before. I don't know if it's going to start or not, but maybe it will. We don't know, do we? Well, what this it fucking starts. Johnson at field there, but the BCM is buggered, I think. There's no voltage. So it's working now, as you can hear. It's running quite nicely, but it won't start unless you jump that fuse. Get straight at battery. It's not actually charging the battery either. It's a really weird job, this.
But if you look at the fuses, obviously that's our dead one, which if we put 12 volts on, we get the room lamp working and we can start the engine. It powers a lot, does that fuse, it seems. That's got a weird voltage of 0.18, which is weird. But it's very consistent, and usually that's consistent with a failure of a transistor, because they're all almost the same values. They're usually like logic-based voltages then, rather than battery. But if you look, it's not charging, of course. I'm holding that on there, and I'm going to power it up, and I'm going to try and erase the fault codes with this bloody thing. I'm powering it up. Jesus, you never seen out like it, have you? I've saved the fault code report, so now I can just use the think tool. By the way, buy it. You'll get a massive discount. I'll put a link in the description. I've just sold one of these, and you'll get one for $500, whatever that is in euros and pounds. It's friggin' brilliant, amazing. Little magnet up back. There's a YouTube video, but I'll probably post it on here as well, just to show you all. But this is a good one. I'll put a link in anyway. Go and check it out. It's worth it. If you've got a small garage, you want it does programming, Ethernet, everything. DOIP, DOIP protocol, connection protocol. And if you know what DOIP is, DOIP, it's pretty good. Jaguar Land Rover uses DOIP as well as many manufacturers. It does BMW programming too, but anyway. Clear DTCs. See you later. It's definitely looking like a BCM. Check this out. The windows don't work right. If I manually power that fuse, that's got 0.18 volts on, so I definitely know it's buggered. Watch this. There we are. BCM's buggered, and it's as simple as that in my opinion. Well, it drives at least. Right, to be continued. Back at the garage now. Look, everything's going mental. Look. iPhone camera not good, but you can see there's definitely something that to me does look crap. Samoin. That's even worse. Samoin. That's not kosher at all, is it? Terrible soldering. Soldered joints, all on them relays, which definitely, in my opinion, some will be an output stage for the fuses, won't they? Interesting. But yeah, I've been on it an hour and a half. Unfortunately, it's 4 o'clock, so it's the end of the working day. It does look to me, on them really crap images, you can definitely see there's some sort of crack. Whether it's open circuit or not, nobody knows, but there is. 4 banks of fuses not working. I expect it to be something like that. So what I'll do on Monday, I'll reflow them, and I'll put it back in and see if it works. If not, but nice. Anyway, have a good weekend.